Hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, Okay. Hello, everyone. Dr. Eve here. Still trying to figure out what I should have going when I am going live here on YouTube. So excited. We're going to be taking a journey today, doing something a little bit different. I hope you all are doing well and excited about spending time with your families and, ushering in a new year. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Eve, your community health and human service educator, all things sustainable well being in the areas of economic stability, education, healthcare, safe neighborhoods and built environments, and of course, sustainable living, right? Sustainable living. And so I'm super excited to be here. As many of you know, I have grave concerns about our well-being, and that would be in the areas of complete and total economic stability, with a specific interest right now in food, water, energy, shelter, and employment welfare. So we're going to get into it. For those of you who don't know, I have gone homesteading because that is seems to me to be the thing to reduce the demand, right? I think that no doubt, having grown up in the 60s and 70s, I realized that, yeah, we were taught home economics, home economy. Economics begins at home. And when we can grab a hold of that, we can really make a difference in our own lives. So I am completely and totally encouraging others to get into home economics. Trying to figure out why this isn't showing up over here on my channel yet. New third party training settings. Okay, dismiss that. All right, so trying to figure out why the live. Okay, there it is. And so I am looking just to make sure that if you are here and have comments, because we're going to be doing some work together today as we prepare for a new season that's coming. We are in the throes of fall. In a few more days, we will be turning up winter, a new season. And so I say we better get ready, right? There is no better time than now to truly begin thinking about how to minimize the your need for their supply, right? That's my thing. How do you minimize the need for their supply? And again, those of you who are joining me midstream, I'm Dr. Eve. I'm the community health and human service educator, gone homesteading because why? It's critically important that we begin to figure out what 2025 is going to look like for us because we still have control. I refuse to think that anyone has any power over me like that other than God. And so but I take action too. And so I want to show you all, how do you take action on your life? How do you take action on your home and your food and your water and all these things, right? How do you do that? Well, first you have to, be prepared to learn some things, learning is has always been a very important element in my life. I am a self learner and I'm going to find whatever books I'm going to take the book information and I'm going to go out there and take the theory and I'm going to put it to practice, right? Because why? Theory is just theory if it's just in your head. But when you take intentional action on how this is going to look for you, then things shift, right? I'm not sure why this live is not showing up over here. So I am still trying to figure that out. And so that's the beauty of going live, is that it's real time and it's real life. And I love being completely authentic with my audience. I've been over here for a minute, but I've never really been interested in the whole subscriber thing. But if you're going to be present in somewhere, you need to think about how you build community in that area, right? Because I've been building community for a long time, right? I happen to have an expertise in the telehealth and telemental health space, and making sure that we are honing in on our use of integrating technology into practice. That's my baby for real. That is my research. That's the thing that moves me, and I wish people had taken more advantage of that back before 2020 hit, when I was teaching them since 2016 about the importance of preparing for a new season, preparing for the season of integration, preparing for the season of technology upgrades. But no one could have prepared us for 2020. But what we realized is that systems were broke. Systems were completely broke, right? So today we're going to be talking about how to prepare for the spring, right? When you're talking about growing food, we have to you have to prepare for the season that's ahead. Like spring and fall are the seasons to really have a good harvest outcome experience, because you're not dealing with a frost and you're not dealing with the bugs, right? Like these them bugs can have a heavy impact on your success rate in a garden. If you want to be organic, and you got to think about ways in which you can do that. And of course, it takes a lot of trial and error. So I've been trialing and erroring. I have been trialing and erroring. Is that even a word, right? But I'm excited that we are going to start today by building a chart to help us monitor what we need, what, when, who, where, when, what, and how, right? On this seed journey, because I'm looking for an abundant harvest this year. I have done all the trialing and erroring I want to do. It's go time for real as it relates to um securing food for your family. Is go time. I showed you all yesterday, I was able to get um, extra bags. So for example, I grow in bags, in the raised bed, and in the ground. Like I try all the stuff, right? I found the greatest success in the bags and the ground. Why? Because I have nurtured the ground. Like I literally had my soil tested, literally gave it and treated, gave it nutrients because it was, down a little bit. So I knew I needed to have give it some food. I had to give it some nutrients, right? And I did. But the beauty is, when you know what your pH numbers are, then you can do what is necessary to have a successful dense soil, where you can get nutrient dense food. That is a big deal. Many of us are growing food and we wonder why we're not getting the yield that we want. And a lot of that is simply because of the soil, right? And sometimes just because we don't even care for it properly, right? So there's a lot of things I want to do to get ahead of 2025. Um, Planting for 2025. One was, this past fall, I worked hard out here putting in new beds, like really expanding to the entire yard, because I'm an urban homesteader. When I talk about homesteading, most people think I live in the country. Well, I consider where I live the country, but it's the urban country. It's the urban country, and and I'm able to do some amazing things even in the urban community. So yeah, I talk about it like it's like we living out way out in the way, way out in the sticks, right? But so I before I get into this spreadsheet that I'm about to show you, we're going to set it up together because my goal is, let's work together. So if you have your computer, you should get it up and running, and let's work together because that's what we're going to do here as we build community together, because community building is important. Finally, this thing came up. I'm going to say, what in the world is going on, right? All right, so let's click. There it is. Okay. So I can now see the chat. So that's what I was really trying to see, if people were here and making comments and or had questions, right? So yesterday I showed you all this neat little feature in YouTube that has community. Now, I just noticed it not long ago, but again, I believe in taking people on the journey with me. So let's get into it. I want to show you firsthand by sharing my desktop. So we're going to share my desktop so you can see my screen. Okay. So you can see my screen. All right. So there you have it. There's me on the screen. And let's see if you can see this spreadsheet. I want to make sure I'm in the right place. See if you can see this spreadsheet when I click on it. It's a little bit of delay in YouTube, so I want to make sure I have the right setup before I get started. Okay, so I am looking at the screen and this is cool. It's coming up. All right, so I'm going to take you to behind the scenes of my YouTube channel so you can see what I'm talking about. This is my YouTube channel. Yesterday we were talking about these tabs up here, where you have, I'll wait for it to come up because again, we have a lot of delay going on. So I'm glad to be able to see this on my phone and see this on my desktop. Okay, there we go. So yesterday we talked about these tabs here: home, videos, shorts, live, podcast, playlist, and community. I left off talking about community. So we're going to go there really quickly just to recap. Just to recap this community feature, right? Now, did you all know that there was a community feature and that you literally can post here just like you do on Facebook, just like you do on Instagram, just like you do anywhere? Did you know that it was here? I think it's pretty cool. And people who are subscribed to you or people in general can comment. And so I had noticed a comment here from my friend Raquel Sophia, who said, I applaud you for consistently showing up. Your channel will grow and we'll look back on the days of your beginnings and rejoice. And I totally agree with you, Raquel Sophia. And this is what consistency looks like. And so this is my book, that book cover that I posted. I just had created because this is a series. When God gives us a theme or a job to do, it becomes a thing that we do. And so this was the recent book cover that's I've actually I see the ISBN barcode. This is probably the old one, so I've had it updated since then. I've had it done last month, so I posted. Looks like I posted the wrong one, but no problem, right? We see and we do, and we just have fun over here in social media. We're not, you know, we're not going to browbeat ourselves, right? So, what should you use this for? In my opinion, just like you schedule posts, like if you're going on vacation, or you don't even have to be going on vacation, you might want to poll someone, add an image poll, and ask what people think. Like I could have asked people what they thought about the book cover, and not that I really care, but but you can ask folks, right? You can ask people. You could do a text poll, right? What's a text poll? I have no idea what that is. So, but you are asking your community something, right? So, let's put in here, what would you like to see more um behind the scenes? And because that's what I do. And my answer options are going to be yes and no. Okay. So we're going to put that out there. That's a pretty cool feature. And we're just going to post it, right? But let me tell you something. You have the option of making it public or private, but you also have the option. Where did it go? I don't see it. So where did it go, everyone? Let's reboot that and see where did it go. Hmm. I thought it would have showed up immediately right here, but I do not see it. So let's go down further and see if we see it. But let's try another one. Let's just say, are you prepared? All right, for your new season. And see, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I want you to see in the posting. Remember that you can cancel it, you can post it, and you can also schedule it. So that was the feature I wanted to make sure that you saw, is that you can actually schedule your post. And so, but we want to just go ahead and post this immediately. I don't know whether I hit cancel or what, but we're going to post and see if it shows, okay? All right, so I have posted it, but guess what? I don't see it. Where is it going? Where is it going? So let's go back to our community, because I think that's where it is. I think it's hiding in the community because I'm on that particular post. So when we go back to community, you can see that the two posts are there, right? The poll that I created, which was, would you like to see more behind the scenes? And are you prepared for your new season? Those were two things, but I definitely wanted to share that feature with you all about posting, you know, scheduling your posts. All right, so we're going to head on out of here because I'm going to show you behind the scenes today of me. I wish I had this other post I wanted to share about my chickens. I need to start making sure that my phone is plugged up so that I can just grab stuff from my phone and pictures and things, because why? So I was working with my chickens today, my hens, and they I was cleaning out their environment. And we know that hens, if you don't know already, then you should. If you are taking care of hens or new to it, I am very new to the hen game. And what I learned was during these colder days and colder months, the hens need to be kept in a dry environment. So like, they poop and they do all kinds of stuff, but they're wet. And so being wet on top of the cold can cause them to have frostbite. So you want to be very, very careful of that. Welcome to the post. Welcome to the video. Say hello. Would love to chop it up with whoever's here. We are going behind the scenes. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my hens and how they're doing. And so I had spent the morning cleaning out their space and just watching them grow. And I think they're about ready to lay. So I'm going to be putting their boxes in, their laying boxes, laying nests in, because I think they're ready. I think a couple of them are actually ready to nest. So I've been looking at when do I know if my hens are ready to lay? And they were talking about the little flappy things. I don't even know what the name of those things are. But you don't have to be here on your YouTube. You don't have to know everything. And I think that that's critically important because I am learning. So today I am going to be diving into this batch of seeds, okay? I just want you all to know that we're going to be looking at setting up a schedule for our seeds. The other day, I talked with you guys about licorice root, right? It was one of the seeds that I just bought because wanted to get some more herbs in the garden. And so we're going to go to set up this spreadsheet. That's what we're going to be doing today. I have seen, I could probably use all these pre-built tables, but um, that's a lot for me to think about right now. So, hmm, but that's nice. Let's look at this. I'm gonna let this come up on the screen because again, YouTube has a delay. So what you're looking at right now is, of course, the Excel spreadsheet in Google Drive. And I'm noticing that it has some amazing new tables that you can set up. It says help me create a table, blank table, event task, project task. That's cool. Content tracker, product prioritization. We really need to take some dives into some of these softwares because they, you know, really are doing some great things within these online softwares. But I am so like let me just develop what I'm going to develop. Give me a blank table, or it says help me create a table. Let's see what that says. Okay, so it's going to give you my name. How can I help you today? What can Gemini do? Okay, so this is getting Gemini to support you in what you're creating. What are some prompt writing tips? Okay, I'm not looking for that. To compare business strategies. No, we're not trying to do that either. So I'm going to say goodbye to Gemini. And and what I'm going to do is begin to create the blocks that I need for this licorice root. We the other day we talked about this licorice root, which was a seed that I just got in, and it had all the right things for me to begin thinking about. So as it relates to a table. So we're going to we're going to get started and give it some titles. Okay, we're going to say what zone, first of all. What's the name of the plant? All right. Then we're going to say, just do some stuff, right? What zone? We're going to say zone. All right. Then we're going to say, what's the height? Because height is important as it relates to where you're going to put the seed because you don't want it to shadow other things. Then you want to say, it says start seeds in early spring. So when do you start seeds? So we're just going to say start seeds because we don't want to make this complicated, right? Start seeds when? All right. So we're going to put start seeds as one. It is recommended to soak the seeds. Any recommendations? So we're going to say any recommendations for starting recommendations. Starting seedling recommendations. No, we're gonna say starting recommendations. Or what you could do actually, we're gonna leave that blank because I'm gonna show you another feature that I actually like. We're gonna say start seed. So the name of this is licorice root. All right. And we're going to add a line because there's something else I think that's really important for me to know, and that's whether this is an annual or perennial, because I don't like doing annuals at all. I think it's a complete waste of my time for me to have to keep buying seeds that aren't going to come back. That's something I've never been able to wrap my mind around. Is why in the world do we put something in that we got to keep working that hard for? So it's different when you're talking about vegetables, but you want to most of the time, if it is a perennial, perennial should be the thing, right? So I have what's called a perennial garden. All right, so I want to insert a column here. So I'm inserting this column to the left. And what I want to put here is plant type. Oh, we can say perennial or annual, right? And then what I can do here is I can create a drop down, right, for this column. And over here, it's going to say, well, what do you want? I want the values, perennial and annual. Perennial and annual. Those are the values that I want, okay? So what will happen is this is going to give me a choice to select perennial or annual, right? So that's cool. Now, as it relates to the zone, since I'm going to be setting this up for other people to have access to it, I'm going to go ahead and how many zones are there? Does anybody know? Maybe is there zones 1 through 10? Let's just ask Google, okay? How many zone planting zones are there? How many planting? I don't know how many there are, so we're going to ask Google. Are there? There are 26 zones. Wow. So because I want to make this available to everybody, I'm going to go ahead and put 1 through 13 plant hardiness zones. There are 13 plant hardiness zones in the United States based on the average annual minimum winter temperature. So what does that mean? Okay, and then it says here there are a total of 26 zones ranging from zone 1A. Okay. So what do we want to do? Do we want to make this? And let me tell you what, so much information you can get from the cooperative extension, y'all. Yeah, that should be like like a favorite of yours. Um, because you can really get a lot of good information. So I'm looking on how to set up the zones. So if there are, they said hardiness zones, I think that I'm going to go with the hardiness zones, 1 through 13. Zone 1, the coldest zone. Zone 13, the warmest zone, with an average low temperature of 60 degrees. The coldest is with an average low temperature of a negative 60 degrees. My God, that's cold, y'all. That's real cold. So we're going to go from zone 1 to 13, okay? So we have decided, and this is how, yeah, I'm just building in some things because I don't like to do a whole lot of if I'm gonna work it for me, I want to work it um for all of us, right? I want you to be able to have access to this as well. So we're gonna say drop down menu, and we'll come over here and we're gonna say zone 1, add another one, zone 2, all the way up to zone 13. All right. We're gonna do that. 3, 4, and zone 5, zone, etc. So you want to keep adding until you have all the values that you would like to have for your spreadsheet, okay? Zone 9. I don't know if there's a rule, but we're gonna keep adding zone. It looks it should allow you to add a lot because I use this system a lot to help me set up good spreadsheets that are good for me to be able to sort by, what did they say it was? I think it was 13. I think it was 13. So we're in zone 12 and zone 13. So now we have our zones, okay? All right, so now you see here it says zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is good for, I'm in zone 8. So what I'm looking for on my package is it good for me? I'm in zone 8. So I'm just going to go ahead and select zone 8. All right. So I know you get to choose yours. I'm in zone 8. Let me just double check that because I know I'm in zone 8, but I want to make sure it's not A or B. What zone is Eastern North Carolina? Oh, 6A to 9A. It says, okay, I'm 8A and 8B. 10 degrees Fahrenheit to 15 degrees to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm 8A and B, so I'm zone 8. So we'll go back to this spreadsheet and I'm going to keep me I'm zone 8. Actually, y'all, this should have been, oh wait, I did that wrong. So what I was trying to do and should have done is drop down menu for zones. Okay, the name, let's just say the name of apply to range C1 through C1000. The drop down menu is zone. So we should be saying zone. Let's see how I can fix that. So I want to call this zone. All right. But I want, okay, so that's a problem. All right. So this is perennial versus annual. Okay. Okay, so this is zone. Oh, okay, I get to choose, but I really wanted this to say zone. So let me remove, no, I don't want to remove all of these. I want to, yeah, better because it's not working. So let's remove all of these because this is not right. And see, remove, oh, no, that's not what I want to do. So let's go back. Okay, let's go back. All right, so I got it back. What's a good thing there's this feature up here that you, when you make a mistake, you can actually go back and fix it. All right, so we're in zone 8. Now, what I'm trying to do is set up this. I'm trying to set up this C1 to be zone 1 through 8, zone 1 through 13. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that's not going to work. All right, so what I want to do now is I looks like I'm going to have to start over with that because that's not working out for me. So we're going to delete all of these, remove the rules. All right. So we remove the rules. We just click remove the rules. All right. So I'm going to say zone. This is going to be zone. All right. Now, What I want for this column is drop down menu. So let's see. So drop down, and we're gonna add another item. All right. Zone 1. Zone 2. Zone 3. 4. And if there's an easier way to do this, please let me know because I be just doing what I know to do. 7. I'm sure there's probably an easier way, but oh well, long as I get it done. So, and that's how you have to look at it, y'all. We can't like you do you, and that's it. Okay. And as you learn different new things, then you implement the new things that you learn, but don't let it trip you up and don't let it trip you up out here in these internet streets because these people have you second guessing everything about yourself. And that's not what we're doing. We're going to live out loud. All right. So now we have C's. We got C set up. So now we have all the zones. Did y'all see that? I hope y'all saw. I hope y'all caught that. So I'm in zone 8. I'm just gonna select zone 8. I'm fixing this up for everybody, for all of us. All right. So the next thing was, let me look. I know I'm probably been on this live too long, but I just wanted to show y'all. I'll probably, if you stay, come back. I'm gonna finish this today. I probably won't be able to finish it all right here live. Start seeds in, when do you start seeds? Spring, indoors or outdoors? Okay, start seeds in early spring, indoors. So it says, it gives very specific instructions. So it says early spring and indoors. So that means that there is a spring, summer, winter, and fall. And then there's also an indoors and an outdoors. So what we want to do is, let's see if we can move this over here. Yep, we can. So that's cool. I just clicked on the column, grabbed it, and moved it. Okay. Then we're gonna go to, says start seeds. So we're gonna also do a drop down menu here because again, we want to make this really simple for us, right? That is the goal. So you're gonna say start these in the spring, start these in the summer, start, and you got to remember this is also dependent on your zone. So you start like your most important understanding is it what zone is it? Because so that means that I need to make C a more of a priority than B. Um, because why? Wait, can I move that? Yeah, I want to put this before B. Put this because your zone is, if it's not your zone, then you don't want to be playing it. So that's a priority. Zone 8, perennial or annual. You want to know that. You want to know if it's coming or going. Okay. You want to know when to start your seeds. Spring, summer. What do we say? Were there more? Spring, summer. Let's say fall and winter. And then we got winter. Okay. So you got these drop down menus. So we are now, okay, apply to, no, that's not what I want to do. Um, let's see, D. Add another. Okay, add another is winter. All right, so we're done. Okay, so now we have spring, summer, fall, and winter. So in a minute, we're going to go ahead and start entering this information. But it also says indoors or outdoors. So we're going to give another column. We're going to dedicate another column. Okay, so I think E is kind of be like something over here. Like that's just kind of generic for more of your where you would plant something. Location. So instead of, we're going to say for that one, we're going to give that, um, no, we're not going to worry with that. We're going to go to E. The next one is indoors or outdoors. Do we start seeds indoors or outdoors? Start seeds indoors or outdoors. So we want to say indoors. Seeds start indoors or outdoors. Start, we're going to say start indoors or outdoors. Okay. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to do drop down menu again. And we're going to put in two values. The two values that we want are indoor and outdoor. Okay. And we're done. So now we can select, we know we're going to do it indoor or we're going to do it indoors. Okay. So I'm just going based off this one packet because this packet was a great example of what you need to think about when you are planting. I thought it was ideal. It was perfect. I should have said, is this a vegetable or an herb? Um, because that's important. All right, so we're gonna take F and we're gonna come over here. Yep, we're gonna take, I'm trying to prioritize my, um, I'm trying to prioritize my columns to what's important to me, like, like what's important. So is this an herb, vegetable, or a flower, right? Because we want this to be good for all the things, right? So herb, vegetable, or flower. So we could say herb, vegetable, or flower. Okay. Now, so we're gonna go ahead and make this drop down menu. Y'all, this is good to me because I love spreadsheets that can help me, figure out my whole life. Because baby, when you're talking about a box of seeds, you want to know, like, y'all, do y'all know that much of my failures has been because I tried to plant something out of season? And in the wrong place. Some things need to be sowed directly to the ground. There's so many things to think about when you're talking about the success of your garden. So here we are with the herb. I said this is a herb, vegetable, or flower. So we know that licorice is an herb. Oh, wait a minute. We gotta classify. All right. So we gotta classify this drop down menu. Oh, it's already up. So we want to know if this is a herb, a vegetable, or a flower. All right. That's what we want to know. All right. So, and when you come back over here, you can see that now it's an herb. I know that it's an herb. It's zone 8. This should be zone. Okay. This is a perennial. This is a seed starts. It says in the spring, indoors. Um, Then it says it is recommended to, so recommendations should be a column that you can that you can add like recommendations. We're gonna put recommendations over here for some more specificity. I think I said that right, y'all. So we can do recommendations, and we can put comments, like most of us don't know that you can actually click on that and insert a comment. Like, how do you insert a comment? Using right clicking on you could say, once you say spring and indoor, you can then come up here and it says, it is recommended to soak the seed in tepid water for 24 hours before sowing. Okay, so you want to start in the spring, you want to start it indoors, but let me add a comment because there's this recommendation, right? So I'm going to right click indoor, and I'm going to add comment. And the comment is going to be soak the seed in tepid water for 24 hours. Okay, before sowing. So that's good to know, because what does that do? It keeps seeds moist but not soggy until germination occurs. Okay, so that's moisture level. So that's the um, moisture level. All right, so we know that, okay, that's the comment. So now we have a comment there. I know that there's a comment there. Where's my comment? Okay, it's right here in the yellow. So you can see, if you hover over the yellow corner over here, you will see that it says, let me see if there's any comments here. If you hover over this, you will see a yellow little corner, and that's a comment. So this is how you can go to your chart on your computer and begin to, say, what do I need to be sowing today, like in the spring? So I can pull up everything and sort by spring. So I want to begin to show you guys how you can sort this, as well. So once we get through a couple more of these, then I will show you that. Then it says, soak the seeds in tepid water for 24 hours before sowing. Keep seeds moist but not soggy until germination occurs. So we need a column that says moisture, because that is a thing. Some plants, some things don't like moisture, don't like wet feet, and your success rate is really going to depend on that. So we're going to go ahead and do a moisture drop down, right? Because we want to know why. I don't know what all those are, but as I go through my seedings, if I don't see them, then I will add these tabs as I know them. So this one, let's just say moisture. We can say watering. We're just gonna say watering because that's probably um okay. So we're gonna say watering, um, all right, as general, right? And then we're gonna say add another, and this one says moisture. And so we're gonna add them as we know them because I don't know all of them. So I will add more values as I know them, as I build out the chart, okay? So we have watering. You want to keep the seeds moist but not soggy. Keep moist but not soggy until germination occurs. So we're going to go ahead and select what? We're going to select moisture. All right. Then we're going to add a comment. Why? Because we need those comments, right? It says it's got some very specific comments about moisture. So keep seeds moist but not soggy until germination occurs. So what I can do, all right. All right. It's okay. So once we have that, then we can say, so this is a plant that's starting indoors. So we need a column that says transplant because you know that you're taking, you got to transplant it at some point. So we're going to say transplant, and we're going to say there are going to be some choices outdoors after danger of frost has passed. So we know that it's transplant outdoors. Okay, outdoors. Okay. Mm, we're not growing in this inside, so I think it's automatic that we're going to be transplanting it outdoors after the danger of frost has passed. But there are going to be different times. Like somebody might say, when the degree temperature is this or the temperature is that. I'm going to assume. So we're going to go ahead and create this other column, and we're going to create another drop down, and we're going to say we have transplant, and we're going to say that's the title. So you want to put the title in there so it doesn't throw you off. And then you want to say after danger of frost, after danger of frost has passed, after danger, or just say after frost. Okay. All right. So we know that this one says after frost. Now we can say done, and it's going to show up here. And now we have after frost. All right, y'all. I wish I could stay with you. I'm going to go ahead and finish. I will come back and do some more tomorrow because I have got a bunch, or I will go ahead and continue working on it, and then I will come and show you guys what the progress of it, because it could take a long time, but I come here live to share with you all just what we're doing behind the scenes in preparation for homesteading, sustainable living. If you're not growing hens and you can, see what your city ordinance is and begin the process. If you can grow quail, see what your city ordinance is, and if you have a place to do it, and we can talk you through a build. We did a coop build here, and so we can talk you through what I did, and it was with the assistance, of course, my son built the coop, but I mapped it out. I knew what I wanted. I had the proper materials and hardware. I predator free. We built a predator free coop. Nothing's gotten in there. To God be the glory. Our hens are doing well. They are growing and they're about ready to lay. And we are now preparing for the spring harvest. I just want to say, not harvest, but I'm going to stop here real quick because this is going to take a while, I can see, but I'm going to have a lot of fun because I know that it's going to really prepare me for what's next. Okay. So I want you all to know that home economics, economy, y'all. Economy begins at home. Let's just get the definition of that thing correct, okay? So the word economy means an economy is an area of the production, distribution, and trade, as well as consumption of goods and services. Now that's really loaded. That's really loaded. But when you have a farm, that's essentially what you're doing. If you have any product that you have that can make you $1,000, at least $1,000 in 1 year, you are considered a farm. If you are a farm, then you are creating an economy for yourself. If you make, well, what does it mean to derive from agriculture? Derived from agriculture, let's look it up. All right. Because I think it's important that we talk about what this all means. Agriculture what agricultural means. Their agriculture described as the practice of growing crops or raising animals. Someone who works as a farmer is in the agricultural industry. Um, the Latin root of agriculture is agra or field plus cultura, cultivation, cultivating a piece of land or planting and growing food. Plants on it is largely what agriculture means. Now, the sectors of agriculture are agribusiness systems, right? Animal systems, environmental service systems, food products and processing systems, natural resource systems, plant systems, power, structure, and technical systems, right? So let's think about clothing for a second. Would clothing be considered agricultural? Let's say, would clothing be considered agriculture? I think so, and here's why. Fashion is agriculture. Here we go. It says, yes, clothing is connected to agriculture. Why? Because the fibers used to make fabric are often a direct product of agriculture. So let's think about that for a minute. Fiber crops, like fiber crops are part of the agriculture system along with food crops. Most natural fibers are a direct result of agriculture. Farm to home clothing. Some producers are growing their own crops to do what? Make clothing and linens. Now, think about this word, textiles. What is the word? What does that mean? Like, textiles is, I'm not going to give you my definition. I know that it makes things. It's fabric. It's a type of cloth or woven fabric. All fabric is woven. All fabric, all clothing comes from a form of textile. So if you are in the clothing design industry, just remember that clothing design is an agricultural business. You can stop putting those billions of dollars off the table as you begin to reclassify what your business is. Agricultural business places you in the what the USDA says as consider a farm. So if you make clothes, you crochet, you spin, you sew, any of those things, you are making things that derive from agriculture. So that's all I have today. Just wanted to come in and break bread with all of you. And I always want to share what agriculture means because I think we just don't know, right? And so for those of you who are with me, I'm Dr. Eve. I am your community health and community health and human service educator, qualitative researcher, and gone homesteading. I am teaching sustainable living and well-being in every area of our lives. And I want you to begin to think about what economy can you build at home? If you at home starting a business, does it derive from agriculture? Can you make things? Can you sew? Can you crochet? Can you bake? Can you do all those things? Can you do any of those things? You are in agriculture. Okay. All right, everybody. This is Dr. Eve signing off today. So super excited to be